morning, guys. It is Tuesday, November 17th, which means Grayson is officially 1 month old today. And I don't know if my heart can take it, but we just got to his 1 month checkup, so hopefully everything goes well with that. I will keep you guys updated. And here is our little 1 month old. He's got his little turkey booties and just looks so adorable. I can't believe you're 1 month old today. You're getting so big. So we just got done at Grayson's 1 month checkup and it went well. He is super healthy in every way. We just need to put some more meat on his little bones. So they said they would like to see him gain a little bit more weight, and so we have a weight check next Monday. But so what she told me is, because I am nursing and I'm trying to pump and I'm supplementing formula, it's too much. So she said, go ahead and pump every 2 hours and feed him bottles. So just give him bottles, because she said currently he needs to be eating more. So I'm gonna switch to doing that, and hopefully that will work. I have had a really big issue with my supply, and it's because I have been supplementing him with formula pretty much since he came home from the hospital. So it's, a supply and demand issue. And so that's something that I'm trying to fix. I've got lactation cookies, I'm drinking a ton of water, and I am pumping, and I was power pumping. Little noisy boy. So we're working on that. Hopefully we can get that fixed and get some more weight on this little boy. And I will provide a full update when we get home, because I want to sit down and talk to you guys about everything that we've been experiencing in Grayson's first month. So there's so much pressure with breastfeeding. There's so much pressure with pumping and making sure you're producing enough. And of course, stress is bad for your milk production. So just a lot. It's a lot to balance. And the nurse who saw us today, she said, just remember, like, you can formula feed, you can breastfeed. She's like, you can do any of those. And she said, all that matters is that your baby's being fed. We are back from Grayson's checkup, and I thought I would give you guys a full update on Grayson's past month. So Grayson is a month old today. He is 6 pounds 3 ounces and 20 inches long. They would like that to be a little bit higher, that number to be higher as far as weight goes. So we are going to work on that. But he is so strong, and something that we have noticed is every time we do tummy time, he's a little noisy boy, by the way, so you'll probably hear him grunting and squeaking. But every time we do tummy time, we notice more improvement, like he's getting stronger each time. And we'll put him on his tummy, and he lifts his head up so well. Yesterday, I had him laying on his tummy, and I was helping him practice roll onto his back and then back and forth, and he almost rolled by himself. Kevin and I were sitting there watching him. He was laying on his back, and he tried to roll onto his belly. He was so close. So we were shocked, because he is a month old, but we were really excited too, because we were like, oh my gosh, this little boy is crazy. I have a boppy nursing pillow, but we also use it for other things. Like sometimes we use it for tummy time, and sometimes we'll like prop him up in it, and he really likes to lay back in it, like lounging. And when we put him on his boppy for tummy time, he pushes his feet into the couch, because we put him on our chase lounger part of our couch. He pushes his feet as hard as he can into the couch and almost like launches himself off of the boppy and off of the couch. So we cannot leave this little boy alone on his changing table or anywhere for that matter, because he scoots and he's trying to roll. He is strong and he is active. As far as nights go, he typically he is a really good sleeper. He will sleep from, I would say we go to bed at like 10:15, and he sleeps until like 2 or so, and then he'll wake up. Sometimes it's 3, it just depends. I let him wake me up because when I was setting timers and trying to feed him in the middle of the night, it was like pointless or it was hopeless. He was not awake for it. So I let him wake me up. When he cries, you know, I'll get up with him and I'll feed him, change him, whatever he needs. And so typically a normal night for us is he will go to sleep at like 10, and then he will wake up at 2 or 3, and then again at like 4 or 5. Sometimes it's a little bit later. And then when I get him back down around like 5, I will let him sleep some more. And he actually sleeps really well. He sleeps until like 9, sometimes later, which is nice because it allows me to get some stuff done while I have that time. Another really big step for him is he sleeps in his crib during the day now. So we actually have him in our room in a bassinet at night. And that's more so because we just feel more comfortable. We feel safer about it. He's still pretty tiny. He's really young. We, you know, like to have him right near us. But we were worried that because he's spoiled by sleeping by us, we were thinking he wouldn't sleep in his crib. So what we started doing is during the day, when he turned 2 weeks old, we started this. During the day, for afternoon naps, we put him in his crib. And he's just honestly like so good about it. He will sleep for like 2 hours, and sometimes it'll take him a while to fall asleep. But when I put him down and I swaddle him, I like kind of soothe him a little bit. I swaddle him up, put him in his crib. He literally will just like lay there with his eyes open, looking around, not crying, like doesn't make a peep. So that is awesome. The other thing he really, really loves is his pacifier. So what we started doing is nap time, if we can help it, we will like not give him his pacifier, especially if he's super tired and his eyes are really heavy and we can tell he's just gonna go down without a fight. You know, we won't give him his pacifier. But if he is really awake still, you know, he's probably not gonna fall asleep for a long time, we'll give him his pacifier because it helps soothe him. And then at night, unfortunately, the pacifier is like non-negotiable for him. So nighttime is when he has a harder time settling down. But as far as our schedule goes with him, during the day, we like to wake him up, and after he wakes up, he eats, and then he plays, and then he goes back down. And so we've been trying really hard to keep that schedule up for Grayson, and he has responded so well to it. So for example, like a typical day for him is he'll wake up at like 9, and then I feed him, or I change him, feed him, and then play with him. So we'll do tummy time, we'll do his Love Every little black and white cards. We'll just, you know, make sure he's stimulated during that time. And then when he starts to get tired, which is typically around like an hour and a half after he's been awake, we will put him down for his nap. And we are really trying to make sure that he soothes himself, or that he's able to soothe himself, because we've noticed that we don't want him to just think that like I have to soothe him every time. We want him to be able to soothe himself to sleep. So that is another thing that we are trying to do, is making sure he can put himself to sleep. So yeah, that's typically how our day starts, and I'll put him down for his nap. He'll nap for like 2 hours, usually not too much longer than that, and then he starts to get hungry. Then he'll wake up, and we try to feed him every 3 hours, but sometimes it goes 3 to 4, and that's something that the nurse said today that we need to work on, is feeding him every 2 to 3 hours, not 3 to 4, because he does need to gain some weight. And so we just need to make his feedings more frequent. And I mentioned this a little bit ago, but they said that from now on, not to worry about nursing him as much as I am pumping and bottle feeding. So that will actually be a really big help for me, being able to take that weight off my shoulders, because he is not a huge fan of nursing for long periods of time, and I just worry that he's not getting enough from me. So being able to pump every 2 hours and then feed him every 2 to 3 hours, typically we'll try to keep it 2 hours, especially as we're trying to get him to gain more weight. That will be such a huge burden lifted off of me because I was really struggling with this, you guys. I was trying to nurse him, pump, and formula feed him or bottle feed him, and it was like a 3-week circus. There's just no way. I mean, I'm only one person and I cannot nurse and pump the way I was hoping, and bottle feed. Like, it was just too many things to do. So this is way better. I'm very much looking forward to this. I actually just finished pumping and I'll pump again in 2 hours, and he ate almost 4 ounces, so that was awesome. It was formula, but honestly at this point I just want him to be, you know, the weight he needs to be, and my biggest concern is just making sure he's eating as much as he should be. As far as his personality goes, he is so cute when he's sleeping. He will smile and he probably has the cutest dreams. I don't know what he's dreaming about, but he's just so precious. He is way more alert than he was. He was definitely super, super tired all the time when we first brought him home. And I think the first week he was very sleepy and it was hard to wake him up. And then we went through a struggle period where he thought that nighttime was daytime. So that was rough. We were not stimulating Grayson enough during the day, and that was the issue. He pretty much didn't have anything that was keeping him awake during the daytime. So we figured that out, and it's honestly so much better since we started doing that new routine. And then what we will do as it gets closer to evening is, you know, about 4 o'clock, we'll start like cluster feeding him, and we'll feed him and then we'll feed him again, maybe like an hour later. And then about 4 to 6, we'll cluster feed. And then 8 to 10, we stimulate him. And on bath night, which is every couple nights, we will bathe him at 9. And that was something the pediatrician told us to do because it helps get them into a routine. And I do know some people love to bathe their babies during the day. It's totally your preference. You know, it totally depends on what you prefer. But for now, the night baths work really well for us because they get him into bedtime mode. And then after his bath, we will play with him a little bit more. You know, he's ready for bed. He's all cozy. And we just make sure that he does not go to sleep during that 2-hour window, because otherwise our night will not be fun. But that is something that we have started doing, and it has made the biggest difference. Of course, he's still gonna have bad nights. Last night was a rough one. And so he is still only a month old. He's not totally like sleep trained. So we're gonna have nights where he just doesn't sleep. But I think now that we are going to be feeding him every couple hours and feeding him more at a time, that's significantly going to help with, you know, him sleeping longer, and maybe he'll be a little less fussy, because yesterday he was pretty fussy. And I really do think he wasn't eating enough, and I feel so bad because I thought he was. You know, these are things that you learn as a first-time mom, and so I'm just trying not to beat myself up over it. You know, it's a learn as you go experience for sure. But I'm very glad that his doctor's appointment went well. Everything else looked great. And we go back on Monday for a weight check, so that will be hopefully we'll get good news. Hopefully he gains plenty by then. She said she wants him to be a minimum of 6 pounds 10 ounces, and that's a minimum, so ideally he gains more than that. So hopefully we can help get some more meat on those little boys' bones. So Grayson's 1 month likes. He likes to cuddle in his mama's arms, clearly. He's just laying here sleeping. He loves his pacifier, and it has to be Bibs. He has used other pacifiers and is not a fan. He loves to eat. He loves to do his tummy time. He's actually very good about not getting upset during tummy time. He loves his cousins and his aunts and uncles. He also really loves his snuggle me. organic lounger, his Solly baby wrap, and his boppy. He really loves to be cuddled, which is really adorable. He also loves to be swaddled, so we have some really nice little Velcro swaddles that we put him in during nap time and at bedtime, and he loves it. He also really loves to sleep, so he does not really complain when it's time for a nap, and he loves watching everyone around him. You can tell that he's really just taking everything in, and it's just really adorable. We have these black and white cards from Love Every, and we will use those with him, and he does so well with it. He loves to look back and forth at each card. And actually, a funny story about that is we were at my mother and father-in-law's house, and our niece was there, and she was wearing pajamas, and the pajamas had black and white, it was Minnie Mouse, but they were black and white Minnie Mouse cartoons. And Grayson was just staring at her pants because it was black and white, and he knows, he can see black and white, and he can see that it's the cards that he's used to using. So I thought that was really adorable. As for his dislikes, he does not like being changed or when we get him undressed and get him ready for his bath. Not a fan of that. He does not like getting out of the bath because it's cold and he's not having it. But overall, this has just been such a wonderful month with him, and he really is such a good baby. He sleeps amazing most of the time. He is hardly fussy. He's so strong. It amazes me to watch him when he does his tummy time. It also amazes me that he's trying to roll already, and when he's laying on his back, he scoots all over the place. This has definitely been the fastest and slowest month of my life. Baby boy is getting bigger, and they say that your kids grow up really quickly. I just kind of figured, that would be the case whenever we have kids. I look at him and I'm like, how are you already a month old? How did I have you a month ago? This is crazy. It really is just amazing. I just love being a mom, and I really can't wait to see what happens in this next month and what milestones he reaches. And now I'll do a quick little postpartum update. So I am officially a month postpartum, and that's crazy. I am no longer bleeding, so I stopped bleeding about 3 weeks after I had him, which I was thankful for because I know they say you can bleed or up to 6 weeks after. The emotions are still pretty all over the place because hormones and everything, but overall I'm doing okay with that. Something I have to remind myself though is that it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to do this on your own. And my husband is very helpful, and he actually has been cooking and cleaning and everything this whole past month while Grayson's been here, and so that's a tremendous help. I go to the doctor on Thursday this week for my postpartum checkup, so hopefully that all goes well. But as far as healing, down there and everything seems to be good to go now, so I'm thankful for that. And now I'm gonna have a little heart to heart with you guys. I just want to tell you that if you see somebody whose baby's sleeping through the night, or whose baby's gaining weight the way they should be, they're breastfeeding like a champ, or they're doing something that you're struggling with, do not beat yourself up over it, because that is something that I have done. My milk supply is lower, and that is obviously really stressful, and stressing out actually does not help your milk supply either. But it makes me think to myself, is there something wrong with me? What is going on? In reality, I believe it's just because we have been supplementing as well as I've been breastfeeding and pumping, but not pumping as much as I have wanted to because I've been trying to breastfeed him. So I think it is all due to that. It really can get discouraging. It can be stressful. It can be upsetting. Did I feel like a little bit of a failure because my baby isn't the right weight? He should be a little bit heavier. Yeah, I felt really bad. And do I get disappointed when he doesn't want to nurse for a long period of time, or not a long period of time, but like 20 minutes at least, or I have to supplement with formula to help him gain a good amount of weight. Yeah, it totally disappoints me. That combined with the hormones from, you know, being postpartum, it's a lot. I will not lie, like, I totally cried a couple times because it really does just get really hard. But the important thing to remember is that fed is best, and we are all just doing our best as moms. And so if someone looks like they're just like a superstar mom, that does not mean you're not a superstar. That just means their experience is just a little bit different than what you're currently experiencing. But it does not mean that you won't be in their position soon, or that you'll never be in their position. And I guarantee you, if someone looks like they have it all together as far as like being a mom goes, they do not. So don't beat yourself up or feel bad about it. And while I am, you know, saying this and giving you guys this advice, it's also advice I need to take myself. So nobody is perfect. You are doing amazing, whether it's your first time being a mom or you have several kids, like, you know, you're doing amazing. So do not forget to remind yourself of that. Now we're gonna take Grayson's milestone photo. It's his first one. And this is something that I was really looking forward to during my pregnancy. So hopefully it turns out really cute.
Life is a winding road. No telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights. Won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down.
We just got done taking Grayson's milestone photos, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. That was pretty difficult. We learned that next time we should feed him, get him pretty full before we do it, because he was hungry during it. And so that resulted in a lot of tears at first, but we got some really cute pictures after we figured out that he needed to eat. And so I gave him a bottle, and then we quickly snapped some pictures. So it did work out, but I just wanted to tell you guys that this is one of those really rough days, and I am just like so tired that I can barely think or see straight, and it's getting to the point now where I have like a really bad headache. Not every day is picture perfect. I am so thankful for this sweet little boy in my arms, and I am so thankful that he is happy and healthy and growing well. Seriously, just cannot believe that he's a month old. That blows my mind. Fastest month ever, but seriously the best month ever. And we are so blessed to have him in our lives. See? Cutie pie. Well, that is all for Grayson's 1 month update. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment down below. And to see more videos just like this one related to motherhood, be sure to subscribe.